Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So, in the beginning of this program, Dwarkadish Das we all recited together the 15th chapter of Bhagavad-Gītā. Then there was something that Krishna Prema said, and that reminded me of the last two verses of the Śrī Īśopaniṣad. Prabhupada, my spiritual master, sees this Īśopaniṣad as a preliminary book before reading Bhagavad-Gītā. Bhagavad-Gītā is known as Gītopanishad. There are 108 Upanishads given to us by Vyasadeva. And this Īśopaniṣad is a very good, especially the way Prabhupada explains it. It's a good introduction, inducement to want to read Bhagavad-Gītā. Because in his purports, continually he's quoting Bhagavad-Gītā. In Prabhupada's preaching, he emphasized Bhagavad-Gītā because it's the quote-unquote Bible of India. So the final two verses of Śrī Īśopaniṣad are appropriate for today. Vayu anilam amritam matedang basmantam shariram om krato smara kritang smara krato smara kritang smara. Please repeat. Let this temporary body be burnt to ashes. And let the air of life be merged with the totality of air. Now, O my Lord, please remember all my sacrifices. And because you are the ultimate beneficiary, please remember all that I have done for you. So the feeling is the person is about to give up their body. So first thing, temporary body. That's something you learn right away in the beginning of Bhagavad-Gītā, that the body is temporary. It's repeated several times in the second chapter and throughout. If someone actually reads Bhagavad-Gītā, there can be no other conclusion. The body is temporary. And practical experience teaches that as well. So now it says be burnt to ashes, because in Vedic culture, the body is given to the fire. Other cultures, they bury, or the animals eat, or the birds eat. But in the Hindu culture, Vedic culture, the body is burned to ashes. Yes, the air of life. That air of life. The soul is resting on that air of life. The soul, we learn from Bhagavad-Gītā, there are two knowers of the field. The field, yes, Kshetra and Kshetragya. The body is the field, and there are two knowers of the field. Soul Atma and Param Atma. Two distinct persons. They're not the same. That's another thing you learn if you read Bhagavad-Gītā properly. Clear distinction. And in chapter 13, Krishna gives much description of Paramatma. That chapter 13, lots of information. Most important, Anumanta hi upadrashta. He's overseeing and sanctioning. We are not completely independent. We desire, we act, but the permission is given by God. He's the one who gives thumbs up or thumbs down at every stage. Now, O my Lord, please remember all my sacrifices. So, hopefully, throughout my life, I've done some sacrifices. Otherwise, it's like most of you have a retirement account, but if you haven't put anything in the retirement account, there's not going to be anything there when you retire. So, sacrifices is what accumulates in your spiritual bank account. Yes, you should have a spiritual 401k. And the way to get that is to perform sacrifices. Like what we're doing today is a sacrifice. Don't think sacrifice just means the Homa. That's one. There are hundreds of kinds of sacrifice. And in Kali Yuga, the recommended, prescribed, authorized sacrifice, Hare Nam, what we did today. This is it. Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Eva Kevalam. Kalau nastyeva, 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 gatiranyata. Hearing and chanting the name, fame, form, pastimes, message of Godhead is sacrifice. So when you, how many people read Bhagavad-Gītā every day? That's sacrifice. You were talking about you go out on Harinam on the weekends. Big Maha sacrifice. So your account is building, building, building. Unlimited return on your account. So, the devotee is saying, my Lord, please remember. Actually, the Lord knows. It's not that the Lord needs to be reminded. He's already there in your heart. He knows everything. But the devotee's attitude is humility. And that's the idea here. My Lord, please remember. The Lord doesn't need to be reminded, but the devotee's attitude is, my Lord, please remember. It's called humility. And in the Bhagavad-Gītā, chapter 13, that's the first item of knowledge. Krishna gives a list in chapter 13 of, depends how you look at it, 18, 19, 20 items of knowledge. Item number 1, humility. And those who are followers of Lord Chaitanya, they know this and they recite this every day. Trinadapi sunichena tororiba sahishnuna minamana dena kirtaniya sadahari. And this is to be worn around the neck for constant remembrance. Why? Because it doesn't come natural and it's not easy, especially when you live here in America. Because everything, everyone around you is not humble. Yankee, Americano. Everybody has their... Actually, this country should be called the United States of Hiranyakashipu, Ravana, and Kamsa, because that's their acharyas they're trying to imitate. Be proud, be bold. We are the champions. But Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, meek, humble. That is the key. And because you are the ultimate beneficiary, exactly what Krishna says in 5th chapter of Bhagavad-Gītā, Bhoktaram yagya tapasang. Krishna says, I am the beneficiary of everything you're doing. I am the enjoyer. I am the proprietor. I am your dearmost friend. Why? Again, Paramatma. Paramatma is your dearmost friend. Why? Because Paramatma is the closest thing to you. Your wife can get this close. or she can get inside your head. But, am I right, men? But Paramatma is right there in your heart. Right there, sanctioning and witnessing. So he's the ultimate beneficiary. Please remember all that I have done for you. So this reminds us that we need to do devotional activities, or at least pious activities. But the best pious activities are bhakti activities. That's the best. One more verse, the final verse of Īśopaniṣad. Let's see. Long purport, so I'm getting down. Okay, here we go. Final verse of Īśopaniṣad. Agnenaya supataraya asman vishvani deva vayunani vidvan yuyod yasmaj juharanam eno bhuishtam te nama uktam vidhema. Please repeat after me. O my Lord, as powerful as fire, O omnipotent one, now I offer you all obeisances, falling on the ground at your feet. O my Lord, please lead me on the right path to reach you. And since you know all that I have done in the past, please free me from the reactions to my past sins, so that there will be no hindrance to my progress. So the same train of thought continues. The person is trying to ready him or herself for that final event, the moment of death. It's all about proper consciousness. Again, Bhagavad-Gītā, Krishna was asked a question in chapter 8 by Arjuna. What about the moment of death? And Krishna says to Arjuna, whatever you're thinking of at the time of death, that determines your next chapter of life. This is only one chapter, this life, your present life. You have had so many chapters. You've had billions of births. This is only one little chapter. In the Bhagavad story of Chitraketu, when finally the Rishi arranged that he could have a son, after having 10 million wives, none of them could give him a son, till finally Angira arranged that he could have a son. But he was told, name this son Harsha Shoka. Very interesting. Harsha Shoka. You know better than me why that's a conflict, huh? Huh? Harsha, what? When the young child was killed by the 9,999,999 other wives who were jealous of the first queen who gave birth to the son, they killed the baby. And everybody was lamenting. And the lament was reaching up to the heavenly planets. Angira came back this time with Narada. Narada told the dead boy, speak. The dead boy came back to life and said to his parents, why are you crying? I've already taken my birth. I was destined to be your child for that amount of time only. I already have my new parents. I've had so many parents in the past. So hearing from this child was a waking up for them, huh? The same thing happened to my father. About 10, 15 years ago, I visited my father, and as usual, we're discussing, arguing about religion. So at one point I told him, yes, I'm your son this life. I've had many fathers in the past, and I will have many fathers in the future. He started crying because he was thinking, I'm his son forever. I said, no, that's not what the Vedas are teaching, my dear father. Yes, I'm your son, but excuse me, I've had many more in the past. I'm going to have many more to come. Because that is what we learn from this Vedic library of knowledge. So here the Lord is compared to fire. We all know here in California, at any moment, there can be huge devastation. Especially right now, there's drought. So everyone who lives in certain areas, they're very worried because just a little bit of friction, boom, thousands of homes and acres, bye-bye. Didn't we have that a couple of years ago here in Yorba Linda? In fact, Dwarkadisha's brother lost his house some years back. I remember. All taken away. So fire is all-powerful. Omnipotent one. Yes, that's one of the ideas of what is God. Omnipotent. He's unlimitedly powerful. Nothing is more powerful than God. I offer you all obeisances. That's what Krishna says in Bhagavad-Gītā twice. Mam namaskuru. It's an order from Krishna. You should give him your homage, your obeisances. Krishna's instruction. And notice, I'm falling at the ground at your feet. That's the sign of surrender. When we say namaste, that's what that means. I'm falling down. I'm surrendered. Surrender is the conclusion of Bhagavad-Gītā, right, Kamlesh? That's the conclusion of Bhagavad-Gītā. Okay. Please lead me on the right path to reach you. Yes. There is one path. Now I know. There's this idea. There are so many paths to God. Actually, there's only one. It's called surrender. You're either going towards Krishna or God, or you're going in the opposite direction. Or you could be going sideways. But if you want to reach God, there's one way. It's the way of surrender. So the devotee is saying, please lead me on the right path. Because you may be following a religious path, but how do you know that it actually leads to God? That's the question. How do you know your path is actually the correct path? That's a whole nother 2-hour discussion. And since you know all that I have done in the past, yes, as I've been saying, Krishna's in your heart. From the beginning, not just this life, the same Krishna has been with you life after life after. Soon as you left the kingdom of God, Krishna was with you. And he's been keeping score all along. He knows everything that you've done. So the devotees say, you know all that I have done in the past. Please free me from the reactions to my past sins. That's why that verse in Bhagavad-Gītā is so important. Sarva dharman parityaja mamekam sharanam. Here's the line. Aham tvang sarva papebhyo mokshayashyami. Krishna is saying, all your sinful reactions, your account, taken care of. The ultimate bailout, if you surrender to Krishna. No surrender to Krishna, you've got a big tab. You got a big bill to pay. Surrender to Krishna, Krishna says, I'll take care of your account, your papa, sinful account. Just have to surrender to Krishna. The question is how? How do I surrender? Chiman, what's the easiest, quickest way to surrender to Krishna? Jai. Everybody, come on. I would like to close this program with the singing of the Nisringa prayers, the prayers of protection. And let's offer these prayers for Raman Bhai Patel, so that our prayer should be, may he be situated at the lotus feet of Krishna right now. If not, then may he take his next birth in the home of a nice devotee family. What's a nice devotee family? They accept Krishna as God and they read Bhagavad-Gītā. How's that? Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Hiranya Kashi Puravaksha. Shilatanga Nakalahi. Namaste Narasimhaya. Prahlada Dayane. Hiranya Kashipu Vaksha. Shilatangana Kalayi. Ito Nrasingha Padato Nrasingha. Yato Yato Yamitato Nrasingha. Bahir Nrasingha Hriday Nrasingha. Nrisingham Adim Sharanam Prapadye. Nrisingham Adim Sharanam Prapadye. Nrisingham Adim Sharanam Prapadye. Tava Kara Kamalavari Nakham Adbhuta Sringam Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanubringam Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jajagadisha Hare. Jai Jagadisha Hare. Jai Jagadisha Hare. Tava Keshavad Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Jaya Keshavadvita Naradirupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Kesh Nara Jaya Jaya Jagan Jaya Jagadish Jaya Jagadish Jaya Jagadish Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare My dear Lord Krishna, please bless Raman Bhai Patel. Please, we beg you, let him be situated at your lotus feet in his original constitutional position as eternal servant of you. If that is not possible, then please may he take his next birth in the home of your pure devotee. Everyone raise your hand for the final blessing. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Hare Rama. Rama Rama. Hare Hare. So Jai Krishna Das, final words from you.
Thank you very much for coming here.